and leaders of our church as we journey through topics that inform, engage, and inspire the daily life of our church.
Welcome to the Roundtable, a podcast of discussions with substance from Pulaski Heights United Methodist Church. I'm Abbey Maynard, the pastor of Community Ministries.
And I'm John Robbins, one of the pastors on staff.
And I'm Judy Goss. I'm co-chair with Janet Stewart of our reading tutor program at Wakefield.
And my name's Jamie Dempsey. I am in the Beatitudes Sunday School class, and we help with the Wakefield Food Pantry.
So as you can guess, we are talking about our Wakefield School Partnership this week. And so, Jamie and Judy, how did you get involved with this ministry?
Well, I can say that our tutoring program, as I recall, is about a dozen years old. And one of our church members, a retired administrator with Little Rock School District, knew about Wakefield. She had connections there, and she went out and began tutoring. And before I know it, she had recruited Pat. She had been principal to Jamie and Margie when they were in grade school. And Pat came home. He was still practicing law, but he came home and he was so happy. It was a good program. He loved doing it. And I said, I've got to do this. It sounds like something I would really enjoy. And there's a need there. I know that. And so I began tutoring too. And over time, we developed into a program. When the pandemic first hit, we had over 40 tutors at Wakefield. And so because the school is so welcoming and well organized, it became a successful program. So I'm glad we're back, and I can talk more about that as we go along.
Jamie, what about you?
Well, the Wakefield Food Pantry had been set up kind of prior to when we got involved. In our Sunday school class, the Beatitudes class, we were looking for kind of a mission to do on a more regular basis. We had previously participated in helping out at Christmas. Our whole church pitches in and provides gifts to the families at Wakefield, but we were looking for just some kind of mission to do more regularly, and it so happened that the UMW group that had been handling this ministry and packing groceries each month, they were getting a little bit older and didn't feel like they could do that physically. And so Reverend Singleton at the time brought us in, showed us the ropes, and we were just kind of off and running with that.
So what all does your ministry do? I know we have lots of things that we're doing with Wakefield, but the pieces that you all are involved in, what exactly do you do?
So our ministry is basically to sponsor, not really sponsor, but there are 24 families each year at Wakefield that receive 3 bags of groceries a month during the school year through our food pantry. So once a month, I go online with the Arkansas Food Bank, I order all the groceries, they get delivered to Pulaski Heights, and then that Sunday morning, our class pitches in and packs all the groceries into 72 bags, or however many that is, and get them ready to go. And then another church member or volunteer delivers those bags to Wakefield, and those families can pick them up at their convenience. So it's a great way for us to have a fellowship and at the same time do a mission for our class and then provide food to those people who need it.
The tutoring program is for us to provide practiced reading with students who have been identified by the reading specialist and the classroom teachers as needing extra help and extra support. Wakefield is in southwest Little Rock. It has about 40% Hispanic and 60% African American students. Most of them live within the neighborhood. I think they have 2 buses, and that are not full. And so these are people in the neighborhood who need some extra support. And so what do? Well, we go once a week, and we can have 1 or 2 or 3. Some people have more students that they have time to work with. And with each student, I will go to the room. I'll visit with a student on the way to our tutoring room, because Wakefield is set up so that we actually have a classroom so that several tutors can work at the same time. We'll spend about 20 minutes on reading. Perhaps it's something the classroom teacher wants us to do, but our reading specialist has provided us all kinds of materials, and we know the reading level for the student so that we have things we can use. And so not only are we doing some guided reading with the child, we're having language enrichment because we're visiting and getting to know the children as well. We had an orientation just last week. This week we started tutoring again. And so do you have to be a retired teacher? I happen to be. No, you don't. Think about who read with you, who told you stories in your own home when you were growing up. Was it bedtime? Was it traveling on a car trip and your mother turned around and told you something? You know, all of these are language development. And I encourage anyone who wants to try to do this to do it, because we are provided many ways. I could go on and talk forever about it. That we had, when we stopped tutoring, we had, as I said, over 40 tutors, and we were serving 80 plus children. Our principal, Les Taylor, has been there 25 years, and his longevity and the longevity of many of the classroom and the specialists provides us security and good organization for the whole program. But he said, as many tutors as you can have, we have children who have that need. And if the child stays at Wakefield, we can go up each grade with that child, which creates even more bonding, so that I have actually gone to graduation with a child I had several years, and it's a wonderful experience besides providing academic success. Now, I will say that I remember Jesus said, do not help the children stumble. Remember, I don't think we want to be there. And so to help a child is reaching out in a way that Jesus would have us do. And so I want everybody to come and help us.
So Judy, don't they have schedules that accommodate people who have jobs who want to volunteer?
Yes.
So can you explain a little bit about that?
I'll be glad to. So when we recruit, we say what day of the week, what time of day, how many students, what age level are you comfortable working with? And so the reading specialist then gets everybody's preferences, and she makes a master schedule for it. And then if someone has a conflict or can't, she'll adjust and change so that she takes care of that organizational pattern for us. This year, what we have coming back, there were a couple of tutors who have tutored with us for a long time but could not make a year-long commitment. But they said, I miss it, I want to do it. So they are going to be our subs. And I already have someone who is getting married this fall, and she's going to miss 2 weeks, and so one of our subs is going to step in for her. So I cannot tell you how smoothly it can work. Are there challenges? Yes. Do we want a life without challenges? No.
Right. Exactly.
So therefore, feel free, be yourself, come. All of us are different, but we all can reach out to children in need, especially in an environment that has been tailored for us to be successful. So.
And Judy, you're kind of already touching on this, but what does this mission mean to each of you personally?
Well, for me, it reminded me as I began to hear questions from potential tutors. For example, I don't think I could do it. It made me realize that part of my appreciation for reading and storytelling goes back to my childhood. So was it a grandparent? Was it your parent? Then I'm a person that's done creative dramatics with young children. I've been a drama teacher, and I know that books and reading and literature and sharing stories interpersonally increases empathy. And so when those things happen to me, when I'm tutoring, it's like a big gift. You know, and we were talking at our orientation about interacting with the students and rewarding them, because all of us want to do things for people we care about. I mean, loving your neighbor is a very rich experience, as you well know. And so we were talking about that, and I reminded the group that we are a gift to them as well. We don't have to provide them a gift when we go in or reward them. We do reward children for success, because when you walk in and they see you coming, the other children see it too and go, oh, that's lucky, you know. They also have things that happen to them at school. But it's that interaction that's human and it's moving forward and helping us meet people we don't know.
Well, I think for me, because I don't right now in my life have the time to go tutor, the opportunity to help with the Wakefield Food Pantry on a Sunday morning allows me to know, you know, as a parent with kids in school, that I'm helping other families, and to get to do that with my friends in the Sunday school class, and we can, you know, catch up on our weeks and have a connection there, but know that we're providing help even though we may not be able to be there during the week. That's what I appreciate. And also I have kind of the pleasure of doing the grocery shopping online at the food bank. And so I'm kind of trying to pick, healthy, if I were doing this, vegetables and what proteins are available and how could these all work together for meals for these families. So that's kind of a perk I get. It's kind of organizing it too.
So who provides like the grocery bags and that you put the particular items in? Do you all provide those? Do you get those from the food bank?
So the church is within the ministry for the food bank generally. Wakefield is kind of within that center,
Right.
the food pantry. I keep saying food pantry generally. Over the years, I think like the Methodist missions have provided some of the bags over time. At times, some of our class members have provided them. It just kind of depends on where we can find.
What can the church as a whole do to help benefit your ministry?
Donate to the food pantry.
Okay.
Absolutely. Donate money to the food pantry
Right.
because we just purely buy straight from that. You can get so much more from them than people just bringing food. I know our other food pantry takes in both physical donations and orders from food bank, but ours is purely through the Arkansas Food Bank. And their effort, I think that ours started as part of their efforts to have pantries in schools across Arkansas. So that's a specific ministry.
Awesome. Well, do you have a favorite story from your time working with these ministries?
Well, I was thinking of this, how the year before the pandemic, at the end of the school year, the principal and the teachers gave the tutors a luncheon in the library at Wakefield, okay? Wow. And the kids came and we came and the kids had all written us thank you notes, about this and what. But it was a joyful time and the library was filled. Well, the last year we did this, we were so large we couldn't do that. They still gave us a pizza party, but we came here and did it in Wesley Hall. And I have pictures from that. And the hall was filled with our tutors and with those students. And Stacy, we took them on a little tour with Reverend Singleton and with Stacy and went through the sanctuary and walked over there. And the children were just, of course, impressed and thought it was a lovely place and were glad to be on our grounds. And it was a real adventure. And so we ended kind of on a high note. Before the next year, we were tutoring again, looking forward to the end of the year, and then, the pandemic hit. But that was so gratifying to me. And what I want to do is brag about Wakefield, because Wakefield is an extraordinary school, and it has been noted for the most progress among underserved schools where they have 98% free and reduced lunch. And so the school is a steady, beautiful, welcoming place. And I tell tutors that, but I had somebody the other day say, I just can't believe this. And I said, well, I was telling you about it, And there have been other people involved. There's a dental clinic there that also serves some of the other schools in the Little Rock District. But we want to spread the word about how important tutoring is and how we should still have, whether our children, and some parents who had children in other schools in the district or in private schools have been a part of our tutoring. And I think that's really good because we are all one community, and it's good for us to step out of where we live and go someplace else. And yes, people who work, I kind of skipped over that. People who work, who have time in their schedule, we've had them come. Even if they only can have one pupil, it's worth it to them.
So do they need to contact the church, contact you specifically, Wakefield? Who would they need to contact if someone has an interest?
If they contact the church, they know that my email and Janet Stewart's emails are there as contact, and then we communicate with Brandy Semino, who is the reading specialist, and Les Taylor, I always copy him, and so we all know what steps need to be taken. And some people will say when they understand what the commitment is, they say, well, I've got a couple people this year. I can't be there all the time, but can I come? I'm going to be out of the town in the fall. We have somebody in the fall who's going to be out of town in the spring. Okay, y'all are going to work together.
So do they generally come once a week?
Yes, once a week. Now, I have somebody who's coming twice a week, and that's a first. But she did it last year, too. But yes, come once a week. Pick your day. Pat and I are coming at from 9 to 10, and we each have 2 students. People pick it every day of the week. We have tutors there. They used to tell us we have to come in the morning, but now some people are coming at noon, some people are coming in the afternoon, but we know what the teacher schedule is, so you know what the children are going to be doing. They're not going to be pulled out of something that's really important. The other good thing is, and I'll say this because other people who want to do tutor programs call me and ask me about it, is that we are kept abreast. I've already had an email about field trips. So I know on this date, in fact, it happens this month, that my third graders are going to be on a field trip. So what will I do? Well, I'll communicate with the classroom teacher and say, I could come Thursday. Is there a time? So we're guided as to how to work in that environment.
Right, some real flexibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Jamie, do you have a favorite story?
Well, I'll say, you speaking about the pandemic made me remember this. Of course, when everything went kind of virtual and kids were at home, we were not delivering groceries to the school anymore. So, and I think the church as a whole, maybe the food pantry ministry too, shifted to assist with the World Central Kitchen efforts, and there was a food truck that was parked at Wakefield on Friday evenings, and so I started volunteering with that and got to meet those people from the community as they came, and you would go pick up your food at wherever it was being, they had little, I'm sure they weren't styrofoam, I'm sure they were recyclable containers, and then so you'd have 100 or so, and you'd pass them out to as many families who would come in. And that was a really exciting thing for me to put faces with that community that we had been serving already.
Well, in addition to our food pantry and our tutoring program, we also have partnered with Wakefield in a teacher appreciation program. So if you want to be involved with that, or we also have our Give a Kid a Chance, which helps provide school supplies, and as you were saying earlier, Christmas gifts. There are so many ways that you can be involved with Wakefield Elementary, and so if you would like to, feel free to contact me or one of these wonderful ladies, and we will help get you in the right place for that. So thank you so much for joining us on the Roundtable from Pulaski Heights United Methodist, a podcast of discussions with substance. We'll hope to see you next week.